That's 8/10 of a mile down there.
93.7 Jack FM. Play what we want.
Now, here's a look at what's going on around town. The Western Folklife Center is hosting local favorite Southwind at the Pioneer Saloon on Wednesday, September 17th. Join them for Celtic, Western, and contemporary toe tap and fiddle tunes starting at 6 p.m. For more information, visit westernfolklife.org. Elko Velo Bicycling Club invites you to challenge yourself against the clock and track your Mustangs can find the best solution for your individual water and livestock
Do I have signal? It shows signal. Let's get a book going. Take a whiz. Oh, it's a gold mine. Nevada gold mine. The Phoenix Mine in Buffalo Valley. Okay. A truly gigantic mine. Says I got signal, but I can't load anything. So, Copper Basin. I'm on 305 headed to Austin, where I'll turn left on 50. Finally gonna make some ground. But the ground that I covered that's the most fun of the trip, I think. Truck down to the line. Look at that. I can actually see behind me. Something rattled all the shitter out. I don't know what the speed limit is here. I'm going to guess 65 is safe. Anybody going twice that can go around. Alright, I got 3.5 hours to go. That's going to suck. Hi.
Hey,
How you
Gerald,
doing?
how you doing?
Thought I'd call you while I got a signal.
Where are you, by the way? Or do you
I'm
know?
on 305 south of Battle Mountain, headed to Austin,
Austin.
near
Not in,
the
not
Nevada
in
gold
Texas.
mine, where they're just disassembling a mountain. It looks like an open pit mine, but in reverse. Really amazing to see.
What are they doing? What are they mining? They gotta be
Gold,
mining something.
gold mine.
Oh, wow, like a surface gold mine.
Uh, a mountain. They're just taking it apart.
Well, I'm all for it, by God. There's money to be made.
Yeah.
So you been on the road all day, or?
Yeah, hadn't gone very far mileage wise because I took these back roads that were adventurous. I'll put it that way, but it was fun.
Man, I've done it before. That's one thing very on Google Maps. You can see parts of the country you've never ever seen any other way.
Well, it doesn't help you out here. There's no signal. That's why I'm calling now.
It should still tell you where you are. You just can't
No,
navigate with it.
well, you get a sort of grace period where you got no connection, but it'll tell you where you are. And then if you get really far out, you can't even do that.
Yeah, then you're fucked. Well, how far are you going tonight? Do you get tired of going, or what?
I figured I'd go till 4 and then stop at the first campground. Yeah. Had to drive in the dark last night, and I don't like that.
You had to do what?
Had to drive in the dark.
Oh, well, that's not fun.
Nah, there's still plenty of time to get where I need to be by the right time, so I'm not going to try to push it.
Call me when you get there, little fella.
All right, I will if I get a signal.
All right, enjoy what's left of your 42nd year.
Yeah. All
You
right.
run out of years, son.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right, bye.
See you. Bye.
Announced times, and he was always there, watching the hard brilliance of the stars, enjoying the incredible hazy swarm of a star cluster, like a giant conglomeration of fireflies caught in mid-motion and stilled forever. At one time, there was the cold, blue-white smoke of a gaseous nebula within 5 light-years of the ship, spreading over the window like distant milk, filling the room with an icy tinge, and disappearing out of sight 2 hours later, after another jump. The first sight of Trantor's sun was that of a hard, white speck, all but lost in a myriad such, and recognizable only because it was pointed out by the ship's guide. The stars were thick here at the galactic center, but with each jump it shone more brightly, drowning out the rest, paling them and thinning them out. An officer came through and said, "View room will be closed for the remainder of the trip. Prepare for landing." Gal had followed after, clutching at the sleeve of the white uniform with the spaceship and sun of the Empire on it. He said, "Would it be possible to let me stay? I would like to see Trantor." The officer smiled and Gal flushed a bit. It occurred to him that he spoke with a provincial accent. The officer said, "We'll be landing on Trantor by morning." "I mean, I want to see it from space." "Oh, sorry, my boy. If this were a space yacht, we might manage it. But we're spinning down, sun side. You wouldn't want to be blinded, burnt, and radiation scarred all at the same time, would you?" Gal started to walk away. The officer called after him. "Trantor would only be a gray blur anyway, kid. Why don't you take a space tour once you hit Trantor? They're cheap." Gal looked back. "Thank you very much." It was childish to feel disappointed, but childishness comes almost as naturally to a man as to a child, and there was a lump in Gal's throat. He had never seen Trantor spread out in all its incredibility, as large as life, and he hadn't expected to have to wait longer. Chapter 2. The ship landed in a medley of noises. There was the far-off hiss of the atmosphere cutting and sliding past the metal of the ship. There was the steady drone of the conditioners fighting the heat of friction, and the slower rumble of the engines enforcing deceleration. There was the human sound of men and women gathering in the debarkation rooms, and the grind of the hoists lifting baggage, mail, and freight to the long axis of the ship, from which they would be later moved along to the unloading platform. Gal felt the slight jar that indicated the ship no longer had an independent motion of its own. Ship's gravity had been giving way to planetary gravity for hours. Thousands of passengers had been sitting patiently in the debarkation rooms, which swung easily on yielding force fields to accommodate its orientation to the changing direction of the gravitational forces. Now they were crawling down curving ramps to the large, yawning locks. Gal's baggage was minor. He stood at a desk as it was quickly and expertly taken apart and put together again. His visa was inspected and stamped. He himself paid no attention. This was Trantor. The air seemed a little thicker here, the gravity a bit greater than on his home planet of Synax, but he would get used to that. He wondered if he would get used to immensity. Debarkation building was tremendous. The roof was almost lost in the heights. Gal could almost imagine that clouds could form beneath its immensity. He could see no opposite wall, just men and desks and converging floor till it faded out in haze. The man at the desk was speaking again. He sounded annoyed. He said, "Move on, Tornik." He had to open the visa, look again, before he remembered the name. Gal said, Where? The man at the desk jerked a thumb. "Taxis to the right and third left." Gal moved, seeing the glowing twists of air suspended high in nothingness and reading "taxis to all ports." A figure detached itself from anonymity and stopped at the desk as Gal left. The man at the desk looked up and nodded briefly. The figure nodded in return and followed the young imprint. He was in time to hear Gal's destination. Gal found himself hard against a railing. The small sign said "Supervisor." The man to whom the sign referred did not look up. He said, "Where to?" Gal wasn't sure, but even a few seconds' hesitation meant men queuing in line behind him. The supervisor looked up. "Where to?" Gal's funds were low, but there was only this one night, and then he would have a job. He tried to sound nonchalant. "A good hotel, please." The supervisor was unimpressed. "They're all good. Name one." Gal said desperately, "The nearest one, please." The supervisor touched a button. A thin line of light formed along the floor, twisting among others which brightened and dimmed in different colors and shades. A ticket was shoved into Gal's hands. It glowed faintly. The supervisor said, 1.12. Gal fumbled for the coins. He said, "Where do I go?" "Follow the light. The ticket will keep..."
Hello? 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 You there?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, doing all right? I had another adventure and got onto 305, which is a straight paved road, so I'm headed down to Austin in Nevada, which is about equal with Carson City.
Okay.
It says 63 miles to go. So, yeah, it's mid 80s, kind of hazy. I don't know if there's fires or what.
Right. So you said you had another adventure. What happened to you?
I went on the roads that we had planned, and Google gave me a warning that there's 5.5 miles of it that are unpaved, but the entire thing is unpaved. So rather than making 60 miles an hour most of the way, it was, more like 40 until I turned off through this. I don't know how to describe these roads, but I frequently had to get out and move rocks out of the way, and you never knew around any corner is there going to be a gully or something that I just can't get across. And it was close a few times, and then the reason I had to come all the way up here, like lost 2 hours, is because the next road there was a 6-foot deep wash about a mile into it. So yeah, I'm glad I did it. It's really fascinating to be in that environment, and yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It could have been a very foreign country for all I could tell.
Well, it sounds like this is the land for four-wheel drive trucks.
Yeah, definitely. They had signs at the entrance of that ranch road to say, your GPS has misguided you. Trucks can't go through here. Turn around. That means somebody's tried to go through there with a semi before.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of cows, some cow fences you have to get out. And as I went further into the mountains, they stopped being regular fences and they were just barbed wire with sticks through them that you sort of uncoil and then recoil and hang again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The mountain is Mount Tabin or Tobin. I can't really see while I'm driving on the map here. But if you wanted to look for the area, that's where it is. So yeah, these mountains looked, the next road that would have been the 20-mile cut through instead of the 100-mile drive around. They're much less severe mountains, but I think the track is just not used because that wash, I couldn't tell how old it might have been, but it was a huge wash. Other ones I got up to thinking, maybe I can pile stone on top of stone and build a little causeway to go across it, but this one was no go. I would have been digging all day just to find out that around the next corner there's another one. Did I lose you?